graduates, families, and friends, please rise for the party of the President of the University of Georgia.
Good evening. Are you ready for commencement? The University of Georgia welcomes the members of the class of 2021 and their families and friends to the undergraduate commencement ceremony. As the birthplace of public higher education in America, we are proud to celebrate the accomplishments of our outstanding students with you tonight. Please remain standing for the presentation of the flag of the United States of America and the flag of the state of Georgia, to be followed by our national anthem. The colors will be presented by cadets from the University of Georgia Air Force ROTC unit. The national anthem will be sung this evening by Maggie Christine, a music education major from Augusta, Georgia. Following the national anthem, please continue standing for the invocation to be offered by Lindsay Atkinson, Lead Associate Director of the Wesley Foundation.
That our flag Let us pray. Gracious God, what a joyous occasion we celebrate today at the University of Georgia. This ceremony marks an important milestone for our graduates and their families. We come from various faiths and spiritual traditions to honor the hard work, perseverance, and accomplishments of our graduates. We pray for health and wellness for the entire Bulldog Nation. Let us continue to do everything possible to stay safe and protect one another. We pray that you would direct the steps of each graduate and make their way firm. We ask that you would call them into vocations that will lead to success and a fruitful life. Make them confident leaders in their communities, in our state, and in our world. Give them wisdom, peace, and assurance as they navigate the days and times that we are living in. May your Spirit give each of them a desire to be lifelong learners, and may they never forget the pride there is in being a Georgia Bulldog. Amen.
Thank you, Maggie, and my thanks to Lindsay for those words this evening. I also want to express appreciation to the UGA Air Force ROTC cadets for presenting our colors. Everyone, please be seated. Tonight's commencement ceremony is unlike any ever held at the University of Georgia. It is one of 3 undergraduate commencement ceremonies that allows us to come together safely to celebrate the achievements of our graduates. I want to take a moment to express my appreciation to the families here for their patience and perseverance through the coronavirus pandemic. Our graduates could not have reached their goals without your support. Thank you. All of our planning for this year's commencement ceremonies has benefited from the guidance of UGA's Preventative Measures Advisory Board, a group of leading campus experts in health and safety, infectious disease, medicine, public health, and communications. We are grateful to them for their guidance with us and for many other matters throughout this past year. Tonight, we gather in this setting to formalize the accomplishments of the class of 2021. To our graduates, we recognize your hard work and dedication, your tenacity in overcoming challenges, and your commitment to the ideals of the University of Georgia. The symbols and rituals we incorporate in this commencement ceremony, from the wearing of the red and black to the college and school banners on our stage and the singing of our alma mater, all are sacred traditions. They bind us together as alumni, nearly 335,000 strong. As a fellow alumnus, it's my honor to stand alongside you as a devoted member of the Bulldog Nation. We are loyal, we are proud, and we make a positive impact on the world around us. I hope that all of you will remember the relationships you formed with your classmates, advisors, professors, and others you met during your time here as students. These relationships will become even more important to you in the future as you look back upon the profound influence that they have had on your life. Remember the deep ties that bind us together, and remember that wherever you go throughout your life, you are always going to be a part of the UGA family. All of you came here from different backgrounds, you studied different majors, you participated in different activities, and you are graduating with different credentials. But all of you have been educated in the same land-grant tradition of this great university. Whatever your field, your UGA education has prepared you to use your knowledge to improve lives, strengthen communities, and indeed change the world. You should be proud of what you have accomplished so far. But know that your work is only just beginning. As a UGA alumni, we do not rest on our laurels, nor do we forget the purpose of our education. While the degree you have earned and the opportunities you have experienced here will certainly help you achieve your personal goals, you are now equipped to become a part of something larger than yourselves. We expect uncommon things from you because you are now a graduate of the University of Georgia. Congratulations. I want to take a moment to introduce the senior administrators of the university who in their operational areas have contributed to your education. Their names and photos will be shown on the Jumbotron. Audience, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dr. Jack Hu, the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Mr. Ryan Nesbitt, the Vice President for Finance and Administration. Mr. Kelly Kerner, the Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations. Dr. Raul Srivastav, the Vice President for Instruction. Dr. David Lee, the Vice President for Research. Dr. Lee will be retiring this spring after serving in his role as Vice President since 2005. He has been a valued member of my administration, and his wise counsel and leadership have been critical to the success of this institution. We were honored to have him serve as our graduate commencement speaker earlier today. Dr. Jennifer Fromm, the Vice President for Public Service and Outreach. Mr. Victor Wilson, the Vice President for Student Affairs. Mr. Toby Carr, the Vice President for Government Relations. Dr. Kathy Farr, the Vice President for Marketing and Communications. Dr. Tim Chester, the Vice President for Information Technology. Dr. Marisa Ann Pagnatera, the Vice Provost for Academic Affairs. Dr. Michelle Cook, the Vice Provost for Diversity and Inclusion and Strategic University Initiatives, and Dr. Ron Walcott, the Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Dean of the Graduate School. Please join me in thanking these senior administrators. The deans of your colleges and schools will be featured on the Jumbotron later in the ceremony as your degrees are awarded. I also would like to recognize other deans who are not directly involved in this ceremony. We are pleased to have them as a part of our campus community. Again, please hold your applause until the introductions are complete. Dean Nick Place of the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences. Dean Bo Rutledge of the School of Law. Dean Dale Green of the Daniel B. Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources. Dean Denise Spangler of the Mary Frances Early College of Education. Dean Ben Ayers of the C. Herman and Mary Virginia Terry College of Business. Dean Charles Davis of the Henry W. Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication. Dean Linda Kirk Fox of the College of Family and Consumer Sciences. Dean Lisa Nolan of the College of Veterinary Medicine. Dean Matt Auer of the School of Public and International Affairs. Dean Marcia Davis of the College of Public Health. Dean John Gittleman of the Eugene P. Odom School of Ecology. Campus Dean Shelley Nuss of the Augusta University, University of Georgia Medical Partnership, and Dean Don Leo of the College of Engineering. We are grateful for the leadership that our deans provide to the colleges and schools every year, but especially in this past year, which was a most challenging time indeed. I know all of our deans share in celebrating your accomplishments. Please join me in a round of applause for our deans. I will now call on Dr. Jack Hu, the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, to introduce the first honor graduates for this commencement.
President Moorhead, it is my privilege to present 23 students who have maintained a perfect 4.0 cumulative grade point average on all work attempted at the University of Georgia, as well as all college-level transfer work attempted prior to or following enrollment at the university. We commend those students for their high standards of personal excellence and for their outstanding achievements, and we wish them well as they pursue their varied interests. The first honor graduates are seated in the front row. I would like to invite you all to join me in recognizing their accomplishment at this time. But audience, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Henry Zane Beaver, Ryan Samuel Belloli, Elizabeth Grace Blevins, Emily Lynn Brown, Therese Ninaya Carter, Landon McCain Clark, Andrew Mark Korn, Alexander Luis Costa, Elijah David Solomon Courtney, Jonathan Thomas Fungudas, Arnav Goyal, Kyle Benjamin Helson, Emily Marie Hicks, Dina Joho, Lauren Afsan Kamali, Kurt Logan List, William Allen Nordson, Susanna Emmeline McLellan, Kelton Tyner McConnell, Emily Marie Pearson, Brooke Wilkinson Sly, Emma Grace Tucker, Grant Charles Whitebloom. Please join me in congratulating those outstanding students. We know that no students can reach this level of achievement alone. In the audience tonight, there are family members, friends, and colleagues who provide support and guidance to the first honor graduates. Will the family, friends, and guests of the first honor graduates please stand and let us recognize you. At this time, we also want to recognize those students who are graduating with other honors. The distinction of summa cum laude is accorded to students with a 3.9 GPA or better. Magna cum laude to those with a 3.75 to 3.89 grade point average, and cum laude to those with a 3.6 to 3.74 grade point average. Will those graduating summa cum laude please rise for recognition? Will those graduating magna cum laude please rise for recognition? Will those graduating cum laude please rise for recognition? Congratulations to all of you.
At this time, I'm pleased to call to the podium a member of this graduating class who will speak on behalf of his classmates. Chan Cresswell is an honors student graduating this evening with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from the School of Public and International Affairs. A native of Griffin, Georgia, Chan is a member of the Dean William Tate Honor Society and the Blue Key National Honor Society. He has been involved in the UGA Student Government Association and was an undergraduate research assistant for the Georgia Congress Project. In 2019, he served as the Bullock intern in the Georgia Lieutenant Governor's Office, where he prepared policy research briefs, monitored legislation through committees, and staff meetings and events. During the last election cycle, he served as a political and field director for a state Senate candidate before the pandemic. Chan will be working as a senior public policy analyst for Denton's U.S. in their Atlanta office following graduation. Please welcome an outstanding member of your class, Chan Cresswell.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, President Moorhead, for the introduction. I'd also like to take the time to thank President Moorhead and Provost Tu for their leadership during this crazy pandemic year. I'd also like to take the time to thank Dr. Amstutz and her team who worked so hardly to make sure that we have a real in-person commencement with everybody here, and our family and friends who are able to attend. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all. You know, when I arrived on campus at UGA, I thought I knew my purpose for being here. As a young high schooler with a need for achievement, I was ready to show up, get my degree, and head on to law school. I used to say things like, I already have a semester by credit hours, and UGA wasn't my first choice. Arrogant phrases that I soon eliminated from my vocabulary. Regardless, I thought I knew why I was here. I didn't. I spent my first years working myself into an oblivion, trying to build a legacy and feed my ego. I look back on those nights I spent up late in the bottom floor of Tate working away on some project with nostalgia and sympathy. I wish I could go back and look that kid in the face and assuage all his insecurities and fears. I wish I could tell him that he had worth and value, not just because of his work, but because he existed. I wish I could help him find a place to put his hope instead of relying on his own fallibility. Perfection was an unattainable goal. That's why that kid wanted it. He didn't realize the pursuit of perfection would only leave him defeated. Unfortunately, I can't go back. I can't provide him sympathy or the benefit of hindsight. That's why I'm grateful my friends Dom Farrell and Langston Leak were there for him. So that when little Chan was running 1,000,000 miles a minute, there were shoulders to lean on. That's why I'm grateful for my roommates, like Andrew Hogue, who taught me not to take myself too seriously, and Michael Umana, who taught me to stay true to myself no matter what. You see, I couldn't learn what I needed to know all on my own. There was no class, no leadership seminar that could give me the secret. There were only people. My community was my teacher. Looking back, I realized that I came to this university for a much deeper purpose. I needed to know the value of humanity. People are the most important thing on earth. We are surrounded by diamonds, diamonds that breathe and think with feelings and opinions. Sometimes we're so centered on ourselves that we forget to see the beauty of the humans around us. If only we noticed their shimmering brilliance, it would humble us. Some believe we are stardust. Others believe that we were hand-formed by a god. But regardless, we stand as a testament to beauty and significance. We gather knowledge and experience, and we provide the world with a perspective only our own. The fact of the matter is that no one knows what you know, and the world benefits from your existing in it. Is there any other object with such eternal significance and value? My admonition to you today is simple. Build your legacy in people. The stock market will rise and fall. You will be fulfilled and unfulfilled. You will live in good times and in bad. But the most secure position is surrounded by people who care about you, cherish you, and want you to be the best that you can be. Over the last year, we've had a lot of alone time. The pandemic has allowed us all to receive some clarity. For some, this means a woeful reckoning on systemic injustice and the role that some of us have played in benefiting from corrupt systems. For others, we've realized that the gold and silver we hoarded is temporary. Sometimes it seems that the fabric of our society is coming unraveled. It's not a particularly cheery time to enter into the workforce. But as you go, know that you are not alone. Instead, you are surrounded each day on earth by the brotherhood of humanity and the entire Bulldog Nation. Although physically we've been apart, we're united by a common bond. We're united by cool fall Saturday nights in this hallowed ground and the pain of hot, scorching days walking up and down the hills of this campus. We're united by late nights in Snelling and way too crowded Tate bus stops. We're united by a singular name on our diploma and are forever linked together, although we go our separate ways. This, my friends, this group gathered here today is your community. You are a stockholder in the class of 2021, and the value is astronomical. So when you're tempted to grow weary, or you find yourself seemingly all alone, remember these people, your people, and know how very lucky you are. As we leave this place, we carry with us the significance of one another. Wherever we may be, there are thousands of Bulldogs sharing our atmosphere, and we can know we're not alone. You are valuable. There is no one like you. You carry a unique significance that cannot be replaced. People are essential to your journey. They keep you from ever being truly alone. Today, your community surrounds you, and although we meet only to part, we carry with us the significance of one another. I thought I knew why I came here, but I didn't. The truth is that I was led here just for the immeasurable pleasure of being your classmate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chan, for those remarks and for representing your class with such distinction. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our commencement keynote speaker, ESPN reporter and University of Georgia alumna Maria Taylor. Since graduating from UGA in 2009 with a degree in broadcast news from the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication, Maria has risen through the ranks of sports journalism and is now in her 8th season as an analyst, host, and reporter for ESPN. She later returned to the University of Georgia to pursue her Master of Business Administration from the Terry College of Business, which she completed in May 2013. Maria played collegiate volleyball and basketball for UGA. She was named to the All-SEC volleyball team 3 times. In 2013, she was the sideline reporter on ESPN2's weekly Saturday night primetime college football telecast and covered the Orange Bowl in her 2nd year. Maria became the first African-American woman to co-host College Game Day built by the Home Depot in 2017. She also was tapped as the sideline reporter for ABC's Saturday Night Football. She patrolled the sidelines for the college football playoff and the national championship games from 2018 through 2021. She previously served as the first female host of the SEC Network's traveling college football show, SEC Nation. Maria also co-founded Winning Edge Leadership Academy, a nonprofit dedicated to improving networking opportunities and providing training and professional development to people of color and women pursuing careers in the sports industry. Since 2015, the Academy has helped more than 40 students to become the next generation of leaders in sports business. Maria was with us in person for the first commencement ceremony last night. Please join me in enjoying her remarks to the class of 2021.
Glory, glory to old Georgia. Go Dogs. Thank you, President Moorhead. I really need to say thank you 20 times over because I know that the opportunity to speak at a commencement is a grand honor. And this is going to be one of my proudest moments that I've ever had in my career and or life. And I gotta be honest, when President Moorhead said he wanted to meet with me when College Game Day was in town for the Notre Dame game, it was almost like I was being sent to the principal's office, so I was nervous. But when he said I wanted to extend an invitation to do commencement for the class of 2020, I was excited. When he left the room, I shed a tear. And when last year's graduation was canceled, I shed one again. But now, here we are, and we are celebrating the class of 2021, and I couldn't be more thankful. I also want to thank Provost Jack Hu for all that you've done, all of your dedication, and your leadership during a very tough time. I want to thank Chan, because we're best friends now, as he said. And also I'm inspired by what he aspires to be, which is a civil rights attorney. He basically wants to give his life to improving the lives of others, and that is something that is noble. And I'm inspired to have even shared the stage with him. I want to thank all of the family and friends that are here in Sanford Stadium, because without your love, support, and guidance, none of us are here right now. There is no graduation. We all needed you to get here, so thank you. And to the class of 2021, y'all made it. Now, when I was on campus, I wasn't concerned with too much except for my one job as a volleyball and basketball player, and that was beat Florida. That was it. But I hear that you guys have a saying, what the kids say. You know, I graduated 12 years ago, so, I'm getting a little old. But y'all talk about how it started, and then you talk about how it's going. So let me tell you how it started for me, okay? If you're nervous at all about your first job, I want you to go back with me to 2009 when I've just graduated with a degree from Grady College. And I'm so excited for the opportunity to work in broadcast media, and I had no job. I had a couple of opportunities, and I was working at LA Fitness. Yeah. So imagine, I just graduated from college. My dad has to drive me to LA Fitness every morning because he's afraid to let me open up the gym by myself. And that was my first job out of college. I was supposed to check people in, and half the time I didn't even do that. I was like, listen, if you woke up this early and want to work out, come on in. So I wasn't even good at that first job. But I tell you that story to let you know, if you are unsure or you don't know, or the first job that you've already received is not exactly what you want, your steps are ordered. And it's not about how you start it, it's all about how you finish it. Now, since that time at LA Fitness, I've been on this career track and this journey, and I thought about what I really wanted to bestow or share with you. And ultimately, it came down to the guiding lights that I feel like I've learned over the course of my career since leaving the University of Georgia. So I'm going to leave you with 4 words and principles that I believe have now defined my life and which I try to live my life by. And the first one is truth. So when I first arrived at the University of Georgia, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I thought that I was going to be a doctor. You know, something easy like a neurosurgeon. Yep, anesthesiologist, orthopedic surgeon. And then I took biology, and I was terrible at it. So guess what? I had to call my parents, and I was like, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I know you were really excited about having a doctor in the family, but guess what? It ain't going to be me. It's not going to be me. I'm so sorry. But we're going to figure something else out. And my parents told me, hey, why don't you major in business? There's a great business school at Georgia. I feel like that's where you're going to be able to hang your hat. So I said, dope. That's what I'm going to do. And I decided to start taking business classes. And then I took accounting. Yeah. Now, I know I have my MBA, but if you asked me now the difference between a debit and a credit, I would not be able to tell you hand to God. So I had to call my parents again. That's right. They know the struggle. So I had to call my parents again. And I was like, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I know you really wanted me to major in business, but I really don't think it's for me. So I'm going to have to figure something out. And I hung up the phone. And I guarantee you my parents were like, so she seriously just walked away from the job that guarantees a lot of money and the job that counts a lot of money, and now she doesn't know if she's going to have a job and make any money. But I went to an intro to journalism class with one of my best friends and my teammates, and I sat in that class and realized, I think this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And although I didn't know it when I showed up, it matters that I'm here now, and I think I want to tell the stories of young athletes. I think I want to stay and be involved in sports. So when I called my parents the last time, I was finally speaking truth. I was telling the truth about what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. And I've realized over the course of time that being true to yourself and speaking your truth is the greatest gift that you can give this universe. So truth is one. My second guidepost is purpose. Now imagine I've made it through LA Fitness. I got my first job. I was actually working at the University of Georgia, and I was doing every single football practice, tennis match. I was at women's basketball, volleyball, and we were covering absolutely all of it. And then Comcast Sports Net called. And they said, hey, look, we would love for you to do some high school football games. So I've been to Griffin, Georgia, which is where Chad graduated from. That's right. I've been all over the state of Georgia and covered high school football, and they said, okay, we want to step it up a notch. We want you to go with us to SEC Football Media Days, which, as some of you guys know, is a pretty big deal. Every single coach from the SEC, from LSU to Tennessee to Georgia to Arkansas to Alabama, all converge in one spot with all of their top players to have a conversation about what the season is going to look like. And I was so excited. So when we get there, my boss turns to me and he's like, all right, here's the plan. You ready? We're gonna have a stage upstairs with 4 guys. They're really awesome. They're gonna talk about the season. You're gonna go downstairs, like really far downstairs, down an escalator, like you're gonna take the stairs all the way down, and you're gonna interview fans for the entire media days. So when I say fans, I mean people who have spray painted their poodles orange because they love Auburn. I'm talking about people who have showed up with oatmeal pies just in case they run into Nick Saban because they know that's his favorite meal. Right. So as I'm doing all of these interviews, I couldn't help but wonder, like, is this what I signed up for? Is this my purpose? Is this where I'm actually supposed to be? And I had an epiphany moment that it wasn't about what the individuals were doing or whether or not the poodle was spray painted orange. It was the fact that I was able to share their story, that they were dedicated to a tradition, or maybe their entire family went to Georgia and so they wanted to make sure that they came to SEC Media Days. And my purpose was to share their story. And during that exact same media days, Mark Schleybaugh, who graduated from Grady, ABJ, class of 1996, he was working upstairs for CSS, and he pulled me aside and he said, you know what, I've been watching you work, and I believe that you have a future in this. So here's an ESPN executive, go talk to him and figure it out. And that was the change. So somehow, some way, at every step of the way, the University of Georgia has paved the way for my career in broadcasting, hands down. And what I realized in that moment was, if you're living in your purpose, and you're true to that purpose, the opportunities will come, the doors will definitely open, people will speak on your behalf when you don't even know that they are, and I recommend that you always work hard and really give it all of your experience. Always pretend like you are there and inspired, or actually be inspired, because you never know who's watching. And you have to make sure that you're staying on purpose and living in that purpose. And I was so thankful for that door opening, but I know that if it wasn't meant for me, it never would have opened. So my next one is grace. And I struggle with this one a lot. So I want to take you to January 1st, 2016. It's the Rose Bowl game, and it's my very first time doing an actual big broadcast. So I'm on ABC for the first time. It's a dream job. You're finally getting called up to what I would consider the big leagues. I had done SEC Network the entire time. I'm pretty sure only my parents were watching me. And finally, we were going to be able to do a game that we gathered around the TV for. We used to wake up on New Year's Day and watch the Rose Bowl, the pageantry, obviously, doing a game from Pasadena. And I was working with Brent Musburger, I was working with Jesse Palmer, but I remember before that game, I walked around a stadium, looked just like this, and I'm walking around the grass, and I'm telling myself the entire time, I'm terrible. Why am I here? I don't deserve this. I'm shaking with fear. Like, what happens if I make a mistake? And that was like legit foreshadowing the entire time. I was telling myself exactly what was gonna happen. So flash forward to the end of the game. For a sideline reporter, as you guys know, we don't get a lot of hits. So the post-game interview is like the most important thing. That is what you live for. You're supposed to knock it out of the park. So Brent Musburger throws down to me, and I'm on the sideline with Christian McCaffrey. He's a running back for Stanford. He's just rewritten the Rose Bowl record books, and I get a chance to interview him. And I say something to the effect of, Christian, what did you think about your productition in the game? Okay, I have 2 degrees from the University of Georgia at this time. Productition is not a word. I didn't say production. I didn't say productivity. I legit made up a word that doesn't exist because I was so nervous and shaking and fearful and afraid. And so I immediately knew that I made a mistake. As soon as I got back in the car and we're riding back to the hotel, Twitter's telling me the same thing. I mean, people said that I couldn't read, that I should instantly be fired, that I didn't deserve the job. Where did ESPN hire her from? And let's go ahead and kick her off college football. That was my first Rose Bowl game. Now let's go on a journey to 2018. You guys might have heard of the game. It was the first double overtime game in Rose Bowl history. The University of Georgia beat Oklahoma 54-48. And I was on the sideline and had the opportunity to interview Kirby Smart after they had just won a college football playoff game and were making their way to the national championship. And at the end of the interview, he turned to me and said, "Go Dogs, right, Maria?" And I was like, yes. Now, before I even got off the field, my dad calls me and he's like, "Are you still standing on the field?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm still here. I'm still standing here." He's like, "Isn't it crazy that the place that you thought was gonna be your greatest defeat ends up being the place that God brings you right back to be one of your greatest triumphs?" And to be honest, y'all, I beat myself up about that mistake. I tore myself to shreds. Me and my mom were supposed to be on vacation after the first Rose Bowl game. I cried for 48 hours straight. I'm not even kidding. You can ask her. She had to pull me out of the dumps and eventually be like, "Maria, no one cares. You cannot let this define your entire career, because if you do, then we might as well call it quits. If not, you need to grow up, okay? That's what we're gonna do, grow up." And I didn't listen to her right away, but I gave it about another 24 hours and realized something else. That if I live by the standard of grace instead of perfection, then I really might be able to accomplish something in life. Because the reality is that we're all gonna make mistakes. And if I can extend that grace that I'm now gonna give to myself to others, then who knows what we can all accomplish together. So now, my ultimate goal is to walk in grace and not walk in the standard of perfection. And I hit it about maybe 75% of the time, okay? So I'm definitely not perfect with that. Now, the last guidepost that I absolutely love is called legacy. But in order to tell this story, I have to tell the story of one woman. Her name was Livonia Matthews, and she grew up in the Newtown area of Athens, which is about 15 minutes literally from this stadium. She was born to a 13-year-old mother. Her mother could have literally been her sister. For a young Black girl growing up in the South, these were not unusual circumstances, and usually it would kind of define the track that your life would go on. But Livonia was different. She knew for a fact that education was going to be the key to her success. So she graduated salutatorian a year early from high school, and she dreamed about attending her hometown university. It was this university. But as a student of color in the 1950s, she was barred from attending. Ultimately, though, Livonia was absolutely undeterred. She enrolled in the Army. And after 4 years of active duty, touring the world, she was honorably discharged. She decided to go back to school, and that's exactly what she did. She got her associate's degree in accounting, then went on to start her own trucking company, and she was responsible for helping to build the infrastructure for Metro Atlanta throughout the 80s and the 90s with her own company. Now, Livonia had every single right under the sun to resent this university, to resent a school that did not believe she was admissible because of the color of her skin. But instead, she viewed this university as a beacon of hope. And she impressed upon her 3 daughters and absolutely all of her grandkids that Athens, Georgia, could be a life-changing environment for them. Because she knew something. She knew that this soil, the soil that we're all sitting on right now, was special, and it would help them grow. So then she was able to do something that not everyone gets to. She was able to proudly sit in this very stadium that we're all in right now and watch her eldest granddaughter graduate in 2009. She was the family's first University of Georgia graduate. And then she, unfortunately, passed away just 15 months later. But from heaven, she was also able to watch her youngest granddaughter become the second University of Georgia graduate. And today, on the 60th anniversary of Charlene Hunter Galt and Hamilton Holmes' admission and desegregation of the University of Georgia, she's looking down at her granddaughter delivering the commencement speech to the class of 2021. Thank you. You see, my grandmother, Livonia Matthews, planted a seed in me, deep in me, a seed of belief that graduating from the University of Georgia could change my life forever. In the same way that it changed her entire life just growing up around the corner from it. And in every single way, she was absolutely right. This university has changed my life. I will never be the same. I am Livonia's legacy. And I ask of the graduates, what will be your legacy? What seeds will you plant? What soil will you seek out for the next generation to grow on? I can't guarantee you that you will be able to see the bloom of your seed in the next generation, but I can absolutely promise you that your legacy will live on forever. So to the graduates of 2021, I have only 4 instructions for you. Speak your truth, live in your purpose, walk in grace, and inspire with your legacy. If you are able to aim for those 4 guideposts and live your life through them and with them in mind, you will be who you were meant to be. You will make those who love you extremely proud. You will live the life that you absolutely want to live, and you'll know that you've helped those that will come after you. So all I have to say to the class of 2021 is congratulations. And good luck on your journey.
Wasn't she terrific? Something tells me we'll see Maria in Charlotte when we open the season against Clemson. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce Caleb Kelly, who entered a campus-wide audition to sing Georgia on My Mind during this ceremony. Caleb is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Sports Management from the Mary Frances Early College of Education. During his time at the university, Caleb has served as an orientation leader and a tour guide at the Visitor Center. He also has helped facilitate the Georgia African American Male Experience, a program focused on recruiting and helping Black men succeed at UGA. Please enjoy this very special presentation.
Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. I said, Georgia, Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Whoa, other arms to reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song that keeps Georgia on my mind. Whoa, other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Whoa, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song that keeps Georgia on my mind. Oh, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Another round for Caleb. Today, all of you become alumni of the University of Georgia. To welcome you into our alumni family, I'm proud to introduce the 76th president of the UGA Alumni Association, Brian Dill. Brian was a member of the Redcoat Band and graduated in 1994 with a bachelor's degree in political science, and in 2019 with a Master of Business Administration. He is the Vice President of External Affairs for Tanner Health System and the Executive Director of the Tanner Foundation in Carrollton, Georgia. Brian spent 17 years in corporate and industrial business development in communities throughout Georgia and served as the Chief Operating Officer for the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. Brian has been a member of the Alumni Board of Directors since 2007 and has been a constant supporter of this university. His term as president will end on June 30th. We appreciate Brian's unwavering commitment to his alma mater. Let's hear from Brian.
Thank you, President Moorhead. Class of 2021, the path to this moment has not been without its challenges, but you've powered through with the tenacity of a Georgia Bulldog. This is an important moment. Welcome to the UGA alumni family. This family is nearly 335,000 strong. We lift up communities around the world and we empower the next generation of students who will continue the tradition of commitment and excellence that you are exemplifying today. You've dreamed of this moment for a long time, and the alumni community stands ready to celebrate your achievements as you earn official University of Georgia alumni status. Think back to the moment when you received that acceptance email with fireworks. Your Alumni Association honors that moment every day by bringing alumni together year-round, worldwide, and lifelong. To welcome you into the family, we will be mailing you a small congratulations gift this summer, along with some information about alumni chapters and remaining connected to your alma mater for decades to come. There are no dues to be a member of this family, and we're ready to support you as your next chapter begins. We are UGA alumni, and we never bark along. Go Dogs!
We greatly appreciate Brian's leadership of the Alumni Association, and certainly the support and assistance of our alumni is absolutely essential to our continued quest for excellence at this university. And I hope all of you will remain connected to the university through our Alumni Association. So we're at that moment. It's now time to confer the degrees on those assembled here tonight, UGA's class of 2021. I will ask Provost Hu to come forward to introduce the deans who will recommend the candidates for degrees. We traditionally confer degrees in the order of the founding of our colleges and schools. Graduates, we know that you are assembled tonight across the field, and we recognize that you are not seated in a group with your school or college. We ask our graduates to stand if you are able when the dean of your college or school invites you to do so, and your degree will be conferred at that time. Provost Hu.
Thank you. The Franklin College of Arts and Sciences, which was founded in 1801, very good. So the Franklin College of Arts and Sciences is the university's oldest college. Dean Alan Dorsey will present candidates for degrees from the college, the Hugh Hodgson School of Music, and the Lamar Dart School of Art.
The Franklin College of Arts and Sciences instills in its students an adventurous spirit of inquiry, a love of learning, the ideals of community and global citizenship, and the values of hard work and service to others. The faculty and I are confident that the Franklin College has provided these graduates with skills, knowledge, and sensibilities that will empower them to make meaningful contributions to our society. President Moorhead, with pride and delight, the faculty of the Franklin College and I present the candidates for degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, and Bachelor of Music. Will these candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me as president of the University of Georgia by the Board of Regents, I now confer on you the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, and Bachelor of Music, for which you have been recommended by your dean and faculty with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations. You may be seated.
The College of Pharmacy was founded in 1903. Dean Kelly Smith will present candidates for degrees.
The College of Pharmacy prepares its students to fight diseases and improve the health of the citizens of Georgia, the nation, and the world. The knowledge and skills that our graduates of the Bachelor of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences acquire equip them to develop, improve, and produce highly effective and safe medications, medical devices, and vaccines. President Moorhead, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Pharmacy, I take great pleasure in presenting to you candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me as President of the University of Georgia by the Board of Regents, I now confer on you the degree of Bachelor of Science for which you have been recommended by your Dean and faculty with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
The School of Social Work was founded in 1964. Dean Anna Chayette will present candidates for degrees.
The School of Social Work encompasses a broad range of activities, from empowering individuals, families, and communities, to formulating, administering, and evaluating social policies. With its roots in the democratic value system, the profession's unifying element is a sustained commitment to social and economic justice. President Moorhead, on behalf of the School of Social Work, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Social Work. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me as President of the University of Georgia by the Board of Regents, I now confer on you the degree of Bachelor of Social Work for which you have been recommended by your Dean and faculty with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
The College of Environment and Design was founded in 1969. Dean Anna Sonia Hurt will present candidates for degrees.
The College of Environment and Design prepares our graduates to substantially enrich our stewardship of the environment and, in turn, the sustainability of our lives. There is no longer any doubt that healthy, natural, and developed environments are critical to quality human existence, and the efforts of our graduates in design, planning, management, and conservation will play pivotal roles in our communities around the world. President Moorhead, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Environment and Design, it is my honor to present to you candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Landscape Architecture. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me as President of the University of Georgia by the Board of Regents, I now confer on you the degree of Bachelor of Landscape Architecture for which you have been recommended by your Dean and faculty with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021. To our graduates, you represent tangible and inspiring evidence of the wisdom and foresight of those who drafted the charter of the University of Georgia and thus began in 1785 the great American tradition of public higher education. Today, the University of Georgia continues to rise in national prominence as our research enterprise expands, our instructional programs become even more innovative, and the strength of our student body continues to rise. All of you leave here tonight as the next generation of leaders of our state, nation, and world. Whatever your future holds, your time here preparing for life and citizenship gives special meaning to the words in the university's charter that call on the young people of this state to be the rising hope of our land. Congratulations, UGA graduates. Now, before we get to the fireworks, I want to recognize two very important groups of individuals who have contributed significantly to your education at the University of Georgia. First, we are fortunate to have a faculty of exceptional quality and ability. As teachers, advisors, mentors, and friends, they have been instrumental in helping you reach this point. Many of them will be watching the live stream of this ceremony, and I hope that you will reach out to them after you leave this place to thank them for their contributions to your education. And second, let's acknowledge the real heroes of this celebration, the family members and friends gathered here who made this occasion possible for each individual graduate. I would ask the family members and friends of our graduates who have supported them through these past years to rise so that we can recognize you at this time. The late Dr. Louise McBee, a revered UGA administrator and state representative, once said, "We are born obligated to pour back into the stream that nourished us, to replenish it for others. To the extent that we do that, we have lived a good and full life." Class of 2021, I hope that all of you will go forward from today and live good and full lives, creating opportunities for others to succeed just as you have. We will now conclude this ceremony with the singing of our alma mater, followed by a video celebration and then a spectacular fireworks send-off. The fire marshal has asked us to announce that the West End Zone sections are fireworks safety zones and are closed to the public. During the fireworks presentation, please keep out of the safety zones until the all clear is given from security. The alma mater will be performed by Lauren Covington. Please rise and join for the alma mater.
Was it walking onto Tate Plaza after your first class? Was it the first time you saw the inside of Sanford Stadium? Or was it 1,000 miles from home and you heard two simple words? Go Dogs. The University of Georgia honors that moment every day by bringing alumni together year-round, worldwide, and lifelong. Whether you were a first-gen grad or born wearing red and black, being a Bulldog is more than a memory or even a degree. We're a deep-rooted community, centuries old and over 300,000 strong. As the birthplace of public higher education in America, we instill a tenacity that gives our graduates an advantage in the working world. Our family reunions embody the Georgia spirit. And we're empowering the next breed of Bulldogs who will continue that tradition. So think back to the moment you became a Bulldog. Wear it on your sleeve and join the hundreds of thousands doing the same. We're united by the arch and the hedges, by Broad Street and Millage Avenue, and the sound of Glory, Glory. We are UGA alumni. We never bark alone.